Hi everyone. It's nice to finally virtually meet everyone. I know that we've been doing this class together all semester, but doing this presentation and recording it and putting voices to names online feels like we're meeting for the first time. I'm Kara, and I'm going to kind of give you a little rundown about my project and what inspired it. My sister and I have been running an Instagram account for a little over a year now called Artsy Affirmations, and I've got that pulled up here. And this is where our business started that I'm going to get into and tell you a little bit more about tonight. We do graphic design, and this includes freelance graphic design and posters and prints that we make and sell. And in just the course of a year, our Instagram has kind of blown up and gotten quite a few followers and requests for freelance design from businesses and groups. And we just started feeling like having just an Instagram account, wasn't professional enough for what we wanted to achieve and wasn't showcasing all of our abilities. So a summary of Artsy Affirmations as a business. We're a locally based art and design company, and like I said, we sell pre-made artwork like posters or postcards, but we also take on freelance graphic design projects from small businesses to large businesses. So here is the website that I've started building. The main focus that I wanted to go with on this site, I wanted to create a website presence for our Artsy Affirmations company that existed outside of Instagram. So it was separate and all our own, that people could come to as a source of information about what we do, what we've done in the past, and what we could do for their company. This website's goal was to introduce the designers, which is myself and my sister, display some of our past work, and then highlight some of the companies that we have worked with in the past to give people an idea of the scope and scale of what we do. So I've kind of touched on this, but just to be super clear, the purpose of this website was to make Artsy Affirmations much more professional and established online. I really don't think that people look to just Instagram alone as being highly professional, and that's the vibe that we wanted to portray. So a website's going to really help us with that. And the more attractive that this website is, the more credibility we will have because we are a design company, and if you're a design company, you want your website to be really aesthetically pleasing. So I'm just going to start going through this and kind of telling a little more about it. This homepage is what I spent the most time on and what I wanted to be the best. When people came to the website, I want them to immediately be drawn in. I want them to see some of our work and have it be really colorful and engaging, I guess. So there was a lot of work and a lot of tweaking that went into this final for now design. I have my navigation bar up here, and when you scroll over each of these links, they have a little bit of a transparency over them. This was something that was suggested by several people in the class. When I first turned in, I think my first two drafts, I just had these buttons a static color, and when you scrolled over them, they didn't change at all, and it was pointed out that it was difficult to tell which button you were on and whether or not they were clickable. So I thought that that was a really good interface suggestion from the class because it really does give it a little bit of extra depth and interaction on the page when you scroll over, and you can actually tell that you are scrolling over them. So when you start scrolling down the page, I have this larger image here, this "Today I Will Be Brave" image, and then a bit of text here. This was actually kind of hard for me to set up. What I had was both of these elements in a wrapper, but even still I couldn't get them to align, one on the left and one on the right like how I wanted. So I actually reached out and got some help from some people who were better at coding than I am right now, and the suggestion that they gave me was really simple. I ended up putting both of these inside a third wrapper, and that did the trick, and now it looks how I want it to look. So that was another piece of advice and help that I got that really started pulling this together. And then I have an image gallery here which I'm really proud of how this turned out. Each of these images, if you scroll over them, they are links, so they have that transparency that I talked about. And then when you click on them, it pulls up the actual image, which is really fun. One thing that I am considering changing with this is what I would like for these links to do is actually link to the page in the shop where you can purchase these designs as a full-size artwork, printed or digital download, because right now, even though it's not going to be the highest quality in the original sizing, people could just, you know, download the image from here, and that's obviously not what we want from a business standpoint. So I think that is something that I will continue to work on. But just aesthetically, I am happy with how this looks right now. The image gallery, something kind of cool, if I can get this to work right now, is, let me make it a little smaller, let's see. When you squeeze the page in like this, it goes down to 2 images in a row, and then if it gets super small, let me drag it back over, it goes down to 1. So that's a bit of responsive page design that I had been working on for a while that I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Let me just get this back to the main size. I think that looks great, and a lot of people do browse our work on their phones because they're originally directed from Instagram, so I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And then another fun thing that I've got here on this home page is if you click this, it's got a little bit of animation on it, it does allow you to directly email us. So now that we've gone over the front page, I will show you more of the site. Our next tab, which is the second most important thing on our website, is our shop. It's just going to take a minute to load. I did use the e-commerce platform that was used in one of our assignments earlier in class. I really like how easy it is to use, and I like how clean and simple this page looks. We've got some of our designs. If you just go ahead and click on one, it takes you to a little bit of information about it, and it's just your typical shop page, and I like how easy that was to implement. The next page we have is our work page, which I wanted to be a portfolio a bit of what we've done. So up here I talk a little bit about what we've done, what we can do, a little bit of information about how our work has been shared online by people and brands and some of the brands that we've worked with. And then this little bit here, this is a JavaScript download called Super Simple Slider that was recommended in the class, and it just scrolls through some of the brands and their logos of who we've worked with, and I think that that's really fun. One thing that I would like to improve with this is when there are different sizes here, I think you can kind of see how this this email button moves up and down. I think that it would look cleaner if it didn't do that, so that is something that I have in my notes to continue working on and fiddling with, so that it will look it'll look more static there and not bounce up and down. But if you scroll down more, we just have our now open page and then the footer that goes across our whole website. So our next page is the blog, which we have set up so that we can kind of talk with and engage with our online community a little bit more. So right now I have 3 posts up. There are 2 links per post to actually get to the longer form article. Up here on the title and then down here on keep reading. When you click here, each one has another individual page that I have set up, and then it just kind of, it's very simple. This is something that we could make more attractive. I would like to have maybe the image that was on this previous thing right here. It'd be good if that image was also within the article so that it looked more fun and engaging and less like just text. So that's another thing that I'm going to continue to improve. Our final page is the About page here, where I just introduce my sister and I. My sister, Faith, has a background in graphic design and my background is in psychology. So we kind of combine both of our abilities to create this brand. If you scroll down, I have a section called Let's Work Together, where there is a place to put in your name, last name, and how you would like to work with us. This is where I imagine people and brands could come to to get a message to us that they want to work together if they do not just email us directly. So that kind of goes through everything on our page. I want to make sure that I hit all of the points in the assignment. I did talk about the summary and how this site fits our target audience with wanting it to be really colorful and bold, because that's the kind of design we do. I did talk about the specific feedback with really more of the design elements on this front page here, with getting some colors here. Somebody in the class did suggest I use that super simple slider that you saw on the work page with the brands scrolling through, so I thought that was a great tip. And then I did get a lot of tips from the class on how to make the design responsive, and that was really helpful for me because I did struggle on that unit a little bit. And then having information from the class on putting things in wrappers or making my logo have a percentage rather than a specific size that I typed in, that makes it more scalable, and I really appreciated that input, and it does help my site look better. The next question was, what innovative technologies did I implement? And I did talk about the image gallery we have here, the contact form on the About page, and the slider scroller on the work page, and then also obviously the e-commerce on the shop page. So I am really proud of how this website turned out. I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm really glad that I had some input and help in this class with getting it set up, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues to evolve and develop. And I'm excited about seeing how everybody else's websites evolve and develop too, and I'm really proud of how far we've all come this semester.